Nice. Man, this is a rare Dom look. You don't see this kind of look often. This is that didn't shower in the morning, so I showered right before a stream type of vibe. Wasn't too bad, to be honest. My hair's getting long though, and I don't know when the fuck I'm gonna cut it. 'Cause you know, Corona and shit. This was supposed to be a drawing stream, and it might still be. We'll see. Although it might be me drawing. Yeah, Copper couldn't make it yesterday or today. For now. Again, we never know. You never know. But we are streaming. We're still trying to get those 3 days a week in on the schedule. Even though I did punch my clock in yesterday, I was like, you know what? I didn't stream, but I'm gonna still do work. It went iffy. Could have been better. Could have been better. You know, I've been relaxing. I've been playing the South Park Fractured But Whole, which has been fun. I love the first game. This one, maybe not up to par. It's still not bad though. Still fun. So I've been chilling with that. Other than that, I don't know. Just been kind of thinking about this. Yeah, I watched Maya Higa's fundraiser stream, the auction. That went on for like 14 hours. It was good content. It was fun. Kind of wish I got that leaf, that $100 leaf on the donor tree, which I think she got like around 2,000 donations for that. So that's $20,000 just purely from 100s, which is wild. What a wild stream. But I mean, hey, it's I think that solidifies itself in Twitch history. Pretty good day for Twitch. But yeah. I did have a couple surprises here that I'd rather not show on stream just yet. Well, I might work on one of them actually. The other one, kind of want to keep it as a surprise. Just wanted to talk through it with Copper. So one of the biggest things still is just figuring out which one of these do I want to kind of combine. I don't think there's many I really want to. I kind of have ideas for all of these. This one can go... See, these are hard because these are based on people. Right. These are based on people. These are based on existing concepts. And then these are original. But a lot of these are tied with like the lore and the factions. It's kind of do you want to kill one of my babies? Do you want to kill one of the people I wanted to put in as a character? Which might be the easiest thing. Or take the idea I have, which is only one thing, and maybe combine it with one of these. Hard. Combine, like, you know. A little difficult. I really don't want to kill one of your own, but... Yeah, that's where we're kind of at. I don't know. I don't know what the goal should be today. Guess I'm gonna just open up what I did. I'm gonna skip the part I don't want to show. Well, I did add, I think the two things I added since last stream is Barak for Fabian species, Fabian Carassius, and then Kopat for the mole species for trumpet. I think I like that a lot. And we got the reasons here. And yeah, all the lore stuff. I really need to organize it on the design doc just to have every species and then character under that species. That'd be the best idea. That's what I wanted to skip. And then we got this. We got this vibe. We got this vibe right here. That. So, this is one of the characters that my buddy had in mind. I asked him, yo, I want you to have a character in this game. He's like, I don't know like what you would do with me, but like maybe I can think up something. I'm like, yeah, man, think of a character. It could be anything and just like give it to me. I'll tell you what I think. And he basically told me something inspired by like a Ryuk from Death Note and Jack Skellington. So this is the vibe I'm getting right now. Because he wanted like a maybe malicious, like a prankster, kind of like a Ryuk kind of thing, vibe, but also like bored, just kind of dead-eyed, you know? But I think the visual is Ryuk floating. That's like the main visual we're going for here. And while I was doing the other stream, I thought, okay, well, what types of atmospheres are these species living in? Because that also shows in the variety of designs. Right. I got my cereal. So I drew this quick thing. So I chose Ice Planet because I think we haven't had anything like that. And nothing on the roster really gives me ice. There's a lot of Water Planet vibes, like grassy vibes. Nothing really gives me ice vibes though. Not yet anyway, not from the ideas I have. So I was like, alright, let's do an ice one. Nice blue. You know? And I thought, okay, tall and lanky. Tall and lanky like Jack Skellington. But in the floating pose of Ryuk. But now how would that work? Well, I don't really want wings. I don't think I want wings. Why else would a thing be floating? Could have propulsion in a different way, that's one idea. Second idea, low gravity on the initial planet. But if there's low gravity on the originating planet, then would it ever float outside of that? Would that pose ever be seen outside of that? Which is kind of more what you want. So I'm thinking propulsion. First I thought propulsion from the fingers and toes. But now I'm thinking knees and elbows. Okay. So we're going for that pose. Which I can show right now because I did look it up right before. Right before going on stream. We got Jack Skellington vibes. Really lanky boy. You know, long legs, long arms. But skinny, bony even. Right, we like that. Right? This kind of figure. But with this kind of pose. This kind of hunched over flying. The thing is, I think here the wings are the thing that's like, oh, Copper's here. And I'm on my phone, hopefully the stream doesn't lag on my data. Hover boots. Sorry, Copper, I didn't even see you in the stream, dude. Sucks we can't do our thing today, but you know what? You're here, so you're still in chat, so it's cool. But yeah, Copper, I was just saying in the beginning, I don't know how long you've been watching. Where out of, this is a roster, we got 28, right? These are people we know, basically. This is kind of my own, or like pre-made stuff, kind of. Or even this, I would say my alien's included in that. And then these are original ideas, which you know, I like mostly because they're factions. Wow, ignoring me. No, I'm just not expecting anyone to watch me, Copper. It's fine. It's cool, it's cool. There's a little bit of lag, but basically the roster is full, is what I'm saying. But then I asked a buddy, I'm like, you know, really close buddy of mine, probably the closest buddy of mine, and I was like, I'd love to put you in my game. And he's like, I don't know, but I give you an idea. I'm like, yeah, give me an idea. And that's what I'm explaining right now, is like this lanky Jack Skellington vibe, but in a Ryuk pose, icy planet, and I was thinking propulsion from like the legs, and you know what, I'm gonna move this. That was a quick TLDR of what I just explained in 15 minutes. Let's see, let's draw this out. Let me take this. Do a little bit of that. We got a head. And we got like you're saying like a lazy, bored, but kind of malicious presence kind of vibe. We're doing that. Came in when you described the character? Well, you know what? I described it again, so. Kind of almost, I'm thinking almost large insect, like very skinny body. You know? And I'm thinking the original planet has very low gravity. So their long legs, I think they're very light because of their boniness, lankiness, skinniness, whatever. So they would just like hop and then kind of just like float. And they would float really far, and they would have propulsion. I had this visual where there's like cold, you know, in the cold there's like smoke comes out of your mouth, like that kind of like, kind of like an eerie, ghostly feeling. Maybe not too creepy, but I'm definitely getting creepier vibes from it, but very like, you know. And I'm thinking that would be because like it's floating, there's like maybe high wind or just winds or something, and it's like taking the gases and then doing whatever in the body, and then it kind of like maybe separates it out between like oxygen and hydrogen. Maybe hydrogen comes out of the holes, and I don't know. Something like that. That's the vibe I'm getting. And I really like it because we don't have a ice planet character in the roster. I haven't really, like, I'm looking at it, I can't really. Already thinking of a design in your head? Pog. Don't let this motivate or take over that idea you have in your head. But I was just kind of thinking because the wind blows, it's very like flat and like laid out, and this could be like ice. I don't know if it would have a nose or not, but like, hey, anything in your head, like, let that. I would love if that just flowed. Let it flow. And if you have something, I mean, like, I know your internet's not working, but like, if your fucking PC's working, just, you know, sketch it up. Don't lose that idea in your head. But yeah. So this is just my vision of it. Got this. Looks like a fucking like tiki mask. I mean, I don't love the way this is looking right now, but it's definitely a basic image. I don't know, and then this would be like shit coming out of here. Like a biological kind of, and I'm thinking like in low gravity, it wouldn't take much energy. But if they're like in the space, if they're hovering like in another place, like they'd be really tired because it's just like exerting a lot of energy to convert whatever they're breathing in into like this kind of exhaust pressure, you know? I'm laying in bed and I want to turn on my PC. You know what? Fuck it then. Or better yet, do what Kip does and like draw it on your phone. There's a ton of great apps to draw shit on your phone, which I don't fucking use as much as I should, but although I have been doing this, I've been drawing within like my notepad, just like 3 a.m. have an idea, and it's basically what I drew on Paint again. Yeah, I'm liking this visual of it sitting on a like chair and its legs go really high up and it's just kind of doing that. I think that's a good pose. I think this would be like the regular pose and then this would be like the bounty pose. This is like if flying. I have no clue. It would be a very low bounty. I was thinking like fucking flying in a no-fly zone kind of meme. Yeah. But anyway, like that's... And I'm thinking of this, and I'm really liking this idea, and I'm like, well, fuck. Who do we remove from the roster, then? I don't know. Honestly, okay, I will say this. This is my opinion. Everything here is pretty open ideas. You know, and I love open ideas because it allows you to think of whatever you want. But we got like a basic concept and then you just like, you go with it. You know? So what I'm telling you right now, you're already going with it in your head. Out of all of these, I'm kind of saying Chan's a very strict idea. I'm just imagining like the fucking, a wide purple Kermit. Just this fucking Muppet. And I can't get that idea out of my head. It's the only character out of this entire list that's like also based on another IP, being Slippy from Star Fox. I don't know how I feel about that, honestly. Everything else, like, we can really work on this throughout the, you know, but this is like, you know, so I'm just saying we might be unless we like make one of these. I really don't know what boss, if boss wants anything or if he. I was just thinking maybe the nickname be boss. Not a bad idea, so we could do that for any one of these. So depends on what you think, Copper. But out of all of these that I would want to replace, like let's think through it. I like the rogue AI with the Sauron bot. I think we're keeping that. I think the base of the idea is good. Like you were hyped to make them, but you're struggling with them. I do like the idea of a rogue AI though. I do like that idea. But you're right. It's definitely the least. Personally, my mom liked it. But personally, it was the least favorite of what we've drawn so far. Probably just because you haven't fleshed it out as much. But still, a little, maybe one of these other ones can be a rogue AI then. I do like the idea of a rogue AI. Because the Eggbot isn't a robot exactly. It's more of a machine. In terms of like a non-conscious machine. So either we combine... I'm gonna write this down so I don't forget. Either we combine rogue AI idea with other character. Either we... Combine rogue AI with other... Give a character nickname boss, because I think that's enough. Give a... And I do think I do think the boss character should be in Ditch Gang, like, right automatically. Or just... Or leave out. Or leave out. With the idea. So any one of these will, you know, take away one of the spots. Everything else, like, I tried to combine all of the things, because I looked through what I chose for the character inspirations, what really stuck with me. And it was kind of like this list of, yeah, you can read it right here. So these are all kind of like elements I would want. And I think a lot of these, I was able to, like, put in the elements. So, you know, we still have that freedom, but then it's like, well, I would like at least this one to have this element. Certain things just stand out. I guess you didn't watch the last stream, so I can kind of go over lore that I wrote. Okay. Since you're here, I mean, it's sad because I want to hear your, like, voice reaction to it. But since you're here, I'll show you something. I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna put it here first. I'm gonna increase that. Alright. There is a bit of lag. It seems like a fucking minute between me saying shit and you reading shit, so I don't know what's up with that, but so basically I was thinking of Ditch, the gang leader. And these two images just stick in my mind. I fucking adore these two pictures. But there's certain elements I adore of these two pictures. Right? I don't want Ditch to be a bird. I don't think. Although I do think... See, there's too many fucking ideas floating around. And you can't stuff everything into 20 characters. Or at this point, 14 characters. You know, we just can't. So I gotta let some things go. Unless it comes up in something else. But I don't think I want him to be a bird. But I love the eyes, and I love the black, like, fur. I mean, I guess it's like more feathers, but fur coming down, right? Just everything, the hair. Love this part. And then on this, I love the jaw. I do like the gradient, but it's more about just like this spiky, like this is spiky, and then this is spiky. I like both the spiky. And I just generally like a jowl, like a, you know. And I mean Ditch, so the one thing is Ditch, if we stick with the 3 nose hole idea, I don't know how the fuck we're gonna do that. Something needs to, that's up to you. I don't know. I don't know how to make 3 nose holes look aesthetically pleasing, but also something he would be bullied for. That's gonna be difficult. Anyway, idea is, I combine the images as a concept for what I would want Ditch to look like. And here's the process. It was just a quick thing. So ignore kind of these at the top, they were just more tests, but we got these. And I would say focus on the first and the last. Because it's basically ear or no ear. But I really like how that fucking came out. I can actually open it here. I'll open it bigger. Got it right here. I'm kind of fucking in love with it. Honestly. I don't know what you think. But I think it combined amazingly. And I did move, I think I moved the eye a bit. Definitely move the fur thing so it's not like on the mouth. And it doesn't have to be angled that way or anything. It was just like a detail I liked. Oxy, I want to hear you say it. Because I fucking love it, dude. But I just like the hair and then like this whole from the brow to the nose. Just the way that kind of goes is so nice. And of course, like, I'm looking more at the shape of like this, not exactly the color, because I do think this like the white and black should go down. But in general, just the way it combined is gorgeous. And the ear kind of giving me like ogre, like Lord of the Rings ogre vibes with this ear. I don't know if the ear is necessary. But yeah, sorry. We'll talk about it. Wait, when you draw it, it's gonna be hype as fuck. But no, and yeah, definitely like the biggest thing is the eye colors. I love the red and the white, and then the hair, and then the spiky beard. I don't know about the feathers on the body, but like just this head is like fucking superb, and I was really happy with that. What's another thing? I had other things to show you. I found this image. It was on Twitter. Volcanic snail with like scales. And we do kind of have that snail dude from that game I made. And I was wondering if like, because I didn't have any like heat based characters. Let me see. Which actually, in the lore, I did make Mama's like ant colony planet initially hot. Exoskeleton making sense and shit. Blame your internet? Yeah, it's fine. But maybe a more like lava fire vibe. So I was thinking combining it with this dude. So like this and this kind of something. I don't know if the colors are gonna. I don't know. I was just like, ooh, that might go good together. So actually, now that I'm talking about the mama thing, where do I have? Where is it? Galagine. So taken from the name of one of the Gigamon, and I was thinking, should her name be Galagine? That's kind of weird, because Gine means, I don't know, it was just, I don't know. But the species being Galagine, ooh, now that works for me. Because I was also thinking of her name, and I decided on her name being Naromi, which is very pretty, in my opinion, Naromi. But also, it comes from the words fire and mom in Arabic. I was thinking like Egypt vibes, but then there's no like Egyptian language technically, I don't think. And then galactic and Gine being a word for an ant queen, so it's kind of like a, you know. But I like it. And I wrote, it is pretty. I like it so much. Naromi. So basically, I'm thinking, okay, ant colony. If there was an ant colony, many ant colonies, not just one, that are on a planet and they're like as big as humans or bigger, then I feel like overpopulation would be a huge thing on that. Right. And so I was thinking, okay, what if they find the planet like very on the edge of being extinct because of overpopulation? And they would be hesitant because they're like, this species, although intelligent, is like, it's a risk. It's a risk we don't know if we should take. So they only took a couple of like one or let's say 5 specific queens, and they were like, you will be interplanetary, everyone else stays on this, and then maybe there was like a civil war, that's a whole thing. But that's why, like, I think her being queen, she's a queen of like, let's say only 5 families. You know, so she's like the 531st queen of the Naromi family. So they don't have a last name, or they don't have a first name, they have a number. You know, so she would be the 501st of the Naromi family. I don't know. That's a vibe. Ooh, also tiny. I'm really liking how I went with tiny. So Tiny, of course, is this beautiful little girl. No, where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? Here, here. There's Naromi. Here, here, here. Here, here. Here's Tiny. We got Tiny. Now Tiny, at 13, is in the revolutionaries and knows her way around shit. And took down a warship. Why? Well, because initially the Sagittar were a primitive warrior culture, but they were found fairly early on in the Great Merge. So they've been trained over the years as one of the main military forces because of their physical strength. Because they got those tanky bodies and those thick legs. Right? Look at that. Thick legs. So yeah, trained child soldiers basically. And they're very tough, very young, so I'm thinking like early on, like age 5, they're like drafting these kids and it's like it's fucked up. Fucked up. They have child soldiers, but these kids are tough. Not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. But then she decides to fight back. I don't know why yet. Some there. But what this did make me think of is centaurs, right? Another thing that makes me think of centaurs is the zodiac sign Sagittarius, which is my dad actually. He's a Sagittarius. It's cool because they're also like a bow and arrow like warriors. I'm thinking those snipers and everything. Yo. Modern. So I was thinking Sagittar, I think is a great. It sounds kind of. I mean, Sajit I looked up and it's like Indian names. So it's very like I love the Sikh culture. I love warrior culture. It's very cool. Also made me think of, well, she's not a centaur, she's not a horse. Kind of reminds me of a rhino. What's a rhino centaur look like? Bruh, look at this dude. Hell yeah. I'm thinking definitely smaller upper body, smaller hands, but those, and the head's different, but these legs is exactly what a military alien force would have, dude. These are tanky motherfuckers. So of course we're not gonna probably draw an adult anytime soon. But if it were ever to come to that, this is gorgeous. If their military training is anything like the U.S. training, then she could have been sick of the abuse. And yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely something like that. Or even like a military family, like being born into that kind of thing, and then just yeah, absolutely. But I mean, just looking at this, it was like the first image. I'm like, oh yeah. I mean, this already, fucking, I love it already. One of our only non-fully humanoid bodies, which is great. Great. I don't think you should change anything. Honestly, I think the upper body is unique and fine on its own. That was more just the focus on like, she's only 13, but when her species does grow up, they are bulky motherfuckers. Node species, which is my aliens species. A lot of info here. I just threw out a bunch of shit. TLDR. Basically think of the gray aliens that we as humans like think of. Right. Like the generic human alien. These boys. Lore is, because Earth does exist in this universe, this is basically, whole point is, what if we were contacted tomorrow with a message saying there was life outside of Earth? Right, what would we do? What would other species do? So the idea is, this is like one of the oldest civilized species. The first ones to have interplanetary travel, okay? But they have a rule in their culture, possibly because of past history, that, and their motto is no direct encounters. They refuse to actually interact with other species, possibly because something happened, I don't know. They talk telepathically, they have no use for mouths. But they do have jawbones still, just how we have nipples. We don't need them. I don't need them. But we got them. We got tailbones, we don't need them. I do like the idea that they're our nearest neighbor to Earth, so they kind of watched, like, subserved us. We're a little reality show them. But then when we got the communication, theory is it's actually one of their kind that did it. It was a kind of a heretic, a schismatic, as they say. Someone, a rebel, being like, hey, I don't love this motto, dude. Why do we listen to this motto? I want to tell everyone out there that we exist, that other species exist. We know they exist. Why don't we tell them? And it only takes one guy to send that message out. And because of him, and they don't take responsibility because they're like, hey, bro, it's not our culture. Like, this was a rebellious thing. So they actually didn't show themselves until a little bit later on. Probably around the same time humans did, because they were like, oh, now our show is included in this. And I'm liking this vibe of, like, you know, you usually see only like 3 of them in a UFO, so I'm thinking they're really spread apart, but they can communicate telepathically or like really far, you know? So they're kind of like in little gangs here and there. They're kind of solo vibes. Yeah, all the info's on here. I also like the idea that they're naturally agendered, but because they watch humans so much, they actually enjoyed categorizing themselves as male and female. Which kind of, I was thinking, like, what would my dude's name be as like his official name? And I was thinking D0MK5. And I'm thinking maybe his nickname just be Dom. I'm kind of Domk's too close with Donk. Domk's Donk. I don't know. I didn't like that. Dom is fine. Donk, separate. But basically he put the M because he's a male. He's like, yeah, I'm a male, dude. So D0, I mean, I don't know what D means, but he's got 0 that. And he's got 5 Ks. That's kind of how they name themselves. Like, they're very, like, binary. And I'm liking Node. I'm liking this, the acronym of no direct encounters being the species name, because they're like, fuck, we're not fucking. Oh, you did that with your Grace? Well, look at that. Great minds think alike. Since you're lagging, I actually don't know what you mean by we did that. Like, did what? What'd you do? Oh, your guy's fucking name is Doc. You're right. But he just has a nickname. I don't think he has a name. And yeah, so after, like, I mean, it's been, timeline's gonna be iffy right now. I still need to, like, think about it. But around 500 years now, you know, and a couple generations have passed, and now the current species, current young youth of that species is like, nah, man, Great Merge was fine. You know, we're just chilling with other species. That's a boomer mindset. Raigun and Kuzu stealing the gender thing? Oh, I didn't. Honestly, it was all just because there was an M in the middle, and I'm like, what could that mean? And I was like, easiest thing is male, female. And I was like, well, my dude's, I don't know, he's a dude, he's me, so I'm like, I'm a dude. I'll make him a dude. Which I have literally never read anything that she wrote about that, so, you know. I wrote it down, and look, it's on the stream. What? What? No, legit, I didn't. I had no clue. I just knew the guy's name was Doc. I saw him like once, I think, on the relationship image. Anyway. Well, he also had, hey, if he's a D0C, he also has 0 Ds. So maybe we're, related in some way. Anyway. What's another thing? We got Bulwark. Also a revolutionary. Kind of went with the revolutionary, you know, ideologies really hard last time. We got Bulwark, and Bulwark, actually one of the first species, they were basically found as frogs, but they still had that rubbery hard skin. You know, so they were hard to penetrate, so they kind of also overpopulated and just became the dominant species of our planet. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Copper, I don't know. You kind of gave me the vibe last time that, like, she kind of was. And I'm still trying to do everything I mean, you guys said no. So the answer is, like, I'm not, you know. The biggest comparison, I guess you could say, is your art style. And the genre of space and aliens. I'm none of your you know, you drew the gorilla. We wanted a gorilla. And I did see her Kos picture, which was great. I could show it. And I think she updated the relationship thing too. Yeah, look at this shit, bro. Yeah, that was the whole point of that conversation. So, I mean, if there is something that she feels we've encroached on, I mean, she can say her piece, but I really can't think of anything. Honestly, I made that sheet, you know, like, what was it, the fucking... the reference thing. This. But I honestly, like, haven't even looked at it since we started. All I know is I want this star pompadour. For sure. And then I looked at it like a week ago and I was like, oh yeah, like, some with Laika vibes, which I was thinking for like the humanoid girl. But other than that, I really haven't looked at this. I mean, hey, we're looking at the pic now, right? There, there's what you didn't want to show me. Okay. Looks great. What can I say? Also, like, it's not like we're gonna finish this in a day. It's not like once it's stolen, it's stolen. Like, the shit fucking takes time. So, anyway, I'm gonna assume she's not angry. No matter what she said to you, I'm gonna assume everything's cool. And again, if she wants to speak up about something, she's absolutely fine to. I will not take it harshly in any way. And again, these are still like initial concepts for characters. We got the Buggy Boys. Then we got this updated Space Bibby. Space Bibby relationship chart. Ooh, cool. There's Doc. Yeah, that's where I saw Doc last time. Look at that neck. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Cop. Like we said, like any one of these, they're initial sketches. We're not like married to these ideas, even though I am writing lore right now. It's because like, if this was a bigger studio, like let's say you drew Fabian and we had a lot of fun during the stream making a Fabian. Which, by the way, where's his name? Fabian Fabian's official name is Fabian Carassius. Look at that. Carassius is actually the genus of goldfish. And I thought, dude, that sounds... Ooh. Not only Fabian's such a name. Carassius. What a beautiful name. And Ferax means fertile in Latin. Are we gonna pee? Okay. That's fine. What else did I want to show? Alright, well I have nothing to hide anymore, I guess. That was everything I wanted to show, Copper. This is more of a recap stream for last stream. That's fine. I should throw this into character. Yeah. I do have a folder for Raya's drawings just because, like, I put them in the aesthetic montage thing. Because, I mean, I do love her drawings. They are fantastic, but, you know, it's in a specific folder, so I don't mistake it with Copper's drawings. I'm trying to be as respectful as I can. God days. I do fucking love this. That's kind of everything that we have so far. Kind of lore done. Nice. I'm just saying, I mean, what was my point? What was my point before? Basically, like, if we had fun drawing Fabian and his story, and then I took this to a focus group, like a business focus group of like 12 people, and was like, what do you think? Of course they're gonna like chisel it down into the most like PG dumb fucking stupid idea. But that's why I kind of like this. We go with the initial thing we think of. You know, I don't aim to change many of these designs. It's kind of whatever comes goes. So, but it's still initial designs. That's my point. Still initial design. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Dominic, you're still talking about this. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god, Dominic. Oh my god. Alright, so what do I want to do? Basically, my point was that I kind of made lore for everything. It gives it character. Yeah. Yeah, everything gives everything character. We cool with the character. I don't know if you missed it, but basically I said Fabian, last name Carassius, being the genus of a goldfish. Love it though, sounds great. Fabian Carassius. Ferac, from the word ferax, which means fertile in Latin. I love getting names inspired from real words of other languages. I love it. Like here we have a trumpet species, which is a mole species, so I went with Tudig in Croatian. Small boy. Definitely small boy was hard because I'm like, what the fuck could I, like, where would he live? What would he do? What the fuck is a species of noodle-armed motherfucking little baby boys? Like, but definitely giving me like squid vibes. So I went with cephal species from the word cephalopod. And that's I think that's it for that. Ooh, right, before the stream before. Hell, I do the same with names? Yeah, that's a great fucking thing for names. Previously, Bulwark had Anurub as the name. I just didn't like the way that sounded out of the mouth. But if you say it backwards, it's Baruna. Baruna. I like it. Baruna. Schmeebles, just Quee, just fucking annoying. Just a fucking annoying species and a fucking annoying name. Quee! Hamhock and Fester. I love this one. Le Cochon. Le Cochon is pig. Or the pig in French. Le Cochon. So they're the Le Cochon species? Le Cochon? I mean, their name is Lambeau. Their last name. Why wouldn't the fucking pig species have French vibes? Of course, the Zerat. Great name. I went with Garimpy for Golden Boy and the gorilla species. Garimpy. Impy being war in Zulu. Garimpy. Garimpy. Also, humans. We are no longer Homo sapiens, which means wise men. We have evolved into Homo machina. Homo machina. Le pig. Le pigs. We are now a new species because they helped us merge with the internet. Previously known as Homo sapiens, the species evolved far enough in the last 5 centuries that they are now known as a new genus Homo machina. The governorship has helped them accelerate biological integration with their unique hive mind technology called the internet. So I was thinking maybe the human character is kind of, you know, like the Borg in Star Trek. What if humans now, or humans in the present, whatever this is, are kind of just the Borg on Earth? Or maybe they're kind of an annoyance within like their own solar system, but they were told like, nah, you can't really like take. It's like the ant colony. Like you can't really do this outside of that because you're gonna kind of take over shit. So just stay here. This is yours. But maybe a couple of them like cut off from the internet, and now they're like traveling. I think that's a fine thing. The Garimpy. I mean, this is more what you said. Of him having, this is more exactly, I think, your words. Just the brawling and, like, being a superiority species. The Quee, I talked about the balloon and the high or low atmospheric pressure shit. Baruna, I'm going to talk about more. The Zerat, we already talked about. We got the eggheads. And I need to actually hear your voice for this. I need to hear phonetically how this sounds, because this is supposed to be a Polish, like... It's a Polish punny joke, but it has to be phonetically in English. So I need to hear you say it. Before I decide that, basically the last thing I was gonna say was Bulwark's backstory, being the revolutionary he is. I just had him up. Where is he? Ba 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 ba. Here, boop. Bracken Rongo joined the Galactic Revolution due to the belief that his species has been taken advantage of throughout the centuries. Although his parents and 5 siblings work hard for their governorship day in and day out, they barely have enough compensation to live properly. Bracken isn't happy that the governorship continues to induct and support new species, even though they can barely support the species that they have worked for 500 years. Bracken hopes to evolve, haha, revolution joke, the system to pause their constant advancement and instead allocate the resources to help them bettering the galaxy. No problem. No problem, Copper. At least you're in chat. That's honestly like just as good. It's better than you not being in chat. So yeah, the whole Bulwark species is basically they were one of the first species that was integrated or inducted. They were frogs. over the 500 years, they actually evolved to be big muscly frog boys. And because they have tough skin and big muscles, they actually do like the heavy construction work and like rugged terrain work. And they're one of the like basic workforces for the governorship because it's like loyalty kind of thing. And so Bracken's kind of like he's kind of a Kekona guy. He's like, hey, we made this country. Listen here, we made this country. You better support us, not those immigrants that you're bringing in from other planets. We made this country. We worked for you for 500 years. We helped you build the governorship. And this is the way you treat me and my family? You don't support us? And that's why he joined the revolution. So he's like, yeah, fuck these new species you're trying to help out. We want what we deserve. Me and my 5 siblings, we you know, it's not gonna talk like that, but and then again, it's like, you know, some may think this is a bad ideology to have, bad mentality to have, but it's the reality of it. And I think I said earlier in the other live stream when I was writing this, like of course I'm gonna take ideas from like the real world. Like there's nothing else we know, so I think it's a good translation of that idea. Like, why are you helping the Zerat? These fucking snake assholes. Like, why are you over there helping them when we're building your fucking shit and like risking our lives? But, bruh. But he's also a good frog boy. I don't know if he's racist against any speciesist. I don't know if any of these guys are speciesist. I mean, the egg probably is against Raxed. I got the eggs. Also, I showed my mom the eggs, and when I said that I'm gonna give them like I don't know what body to give them, she was like, "Oh, why are they gonna have a body?" And I was like, I don't know if I just want them to be like this, like big. I don't know. And I feel like what the fuck? There's like the Club Penguin Fluffy dudes. What are they called? I feel like it also gives me vibes like that if I give it legs. Yeah, these guys. Like, it kind of just gives me those vibes if I don't give it a body. Alright. Basically, the joke here is that this is like when you write on documents, like last name, first name. So his first name would be Fardo, right? But the joke here is yayo means egg. And this means hard-boiled or soft-boiled. So it's like species, last name, first name, it would be yayo na twardo, yayo na miękko. And then schnitza, jajecznica, means scrambled eggs. Lol. Lol. But I do want to hear you say this. Which I shouldn't have actually said that because I want to hear you say it. Anyway. I guess it's time to draw because I really have nothing. I didn't have anything else planned for today. Like I said earlier, I mean, this was the only thing I really wanted to think about was this new ice dude. I guess I can save this. Oh, because I moved the file. Out of music? What happened? Yeah. Because like I said, all the other species I kind of already... My goal this week was to make the species names and then to do like general backstories for the species. And I think I covered all of those. So I guess... And these were kind of the two I had planned for maybe this guy and this guy for today, but... Like Jubjubs. Yeah, like Jubjubs, dude. I don't know. Alright, let's just draw today. Wait, save here. Also, Copper, I was looking through the character because I haven't looked through the character inspiration stuff in a while, right? And I completely forgot that I even wanted like a gorilla, like something based on this. I completely it flew from my mind that Golden Boy was based on like something like this, like or based exactly on this picture, or this fucking clit ape. I do kind of love the eyes being black with like yellow in the middle or something. Ooh, wait. Give me a picture of Golden Boy. But yeah, I just completely. And then you said like, I think you even said in the stream like, let's work on the gorilla one. And I was just like, okay. Like I wasn't even thinking. I was like, okay. I didn't even fucking think about it. Yeah, what if like his brow? Just like his. What am I going for? I'm going for something, but I don't know what I'm going for. No, like a vibe like that. Because he does have that overhang, and I do like that overhang. That looks scuffed. If I can... You get the idea. Just ignore that. You get the idea. Yeah. Like maybe that could be his bounty image. is like him, like his younger self, like kind of with the one eye, just like the brow. Maybe his brows wouldn't be so droopy when he's younger. So. All right, let's open fucking Photoshop. I had no videos lined up. What do I watch today? Copper, did you watch Maya's fundraiser auction thing? Ms. and Maya. It was cool. I watched a pretty chunk of it while I was playing the South Park game. Been just chilling with that recently. I could watch that. You saw the shaving? Okay.
Good news, everybody.
I mean, what's the highlight? Like, Nick Paulum paid $3,000 for his own shoes. I think a wine bottle that T-Pain signed went for like $3,000. Mizkif bought Soda Poppin's golden shovel for $30,000. That was definitely a highlight. He was fighting Soda for it, but he won out. And then Ludwig paid $50K for a 1 hour with Shroud. And then as a meme, Shroud paid $11K for an hour with S-Fand. So this man paid $50,000 for an hour of someone's time. That's crazy. That is wild. Alright, I got a couple videos. Who are we drawing, though? Should I just draw Golden Boy? I think he's on my mind right now, so maybe I'll just draw him. Alright. Got this. There we go.
Good news, everybody. I have partnered with Stereo, and they're sponsoring this video.
Alright.
Stereo is a live podcasting app where I get to talk to you guys live. Last week, Caretaker and I went live on Stereo and answered a ton of questions.
Hey William, 18 scale die-cast car. Osmond channel, we're going 3 years, but it's so much work.
Find me at stereo.com/William Osmond. The link is in the description. And thank you again to Stereo for sponsoring this video.
Today on the William Osmond channel, we're going to blow up my friend's car. He asked me very nicely to blow up his car for him, and so I said, okay. To be perfectly clear, it's a 1/18 scale die-cast car. Fire in the hole! It's to trick people on the internet. It's really easy to trick people on the internet because they're idiots. Not you or me. We're very smart, very, very intelligent. We're
Very, very
people
smart.
Who think $49.99 is cheaper than $50. Who believe viral videos like the eagle picking up the small child. People who tried charging their phone after watching the video of a guy putting his iPhone into a microwave. I want to trick people too. I want to trick them into thinking we blew up a real car. And if we pick a nice car, like a Tesla, they'll get really mad. And when they get really mad, it means we did a good job. You know, back with old movies, they used to use scale models for demolition, like in Die Hard or Ghostbusters. They built small scale versions of what they wanted to destroy because it's too expensive to destroy the real thing. I want to do that.
Should I do this again the way I usually do it? This is a very good image. It's a complete image and it has color. So I'm probably just going to use the colors. I mean, I'm definitely going to use the colors from this. But should I just go full not looking at the image and just doing it the way I think it looks? I think that's the way to go. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best. But I should start out with the head. Yes.
Hello, could I get an ice cream cone? 2 ice cream cones. Plus, I can't even afford to blow up a real Tesla. Is it even legal to blow up a car? Why is the government telling me what I can and can't do with my life? I thought this was America. You want a nuggie? Nuggie? Go get the nuggie. Before we start, how about a very important safety message brought to you by Mr. Bones? You shouldn't follow anything you see in this video. If you do this and it goes wrong, I told you not to do it. You might end up looking like me. I'm all bones. I'm all bones. How do you think I turned into bones? I died. I killed myself. That sounds bad. That sounds bad. It wasn't on purpose. I accidentally killed myself. There's a couple of videos online that show you what happens if you play with explosives and hurt yourself, and you should definitely go watch those because you will blow your hands off. And there's videos of people blowing their hands off. Yes, his wrists look like spaghetti. His wrists just look like spaghetti. I think that everybody should show their kids these videos.
You have no arms.
Yeah, that was a battle bot accident. That was different. I'm gonna do a demonstration for you guys. None of this is like safe, but none of it really is also that dangerous. He can be here as long as he wears his safety glasses. Here, no, okay, very smart. A little tiny pile of black powder and a flame. Nothing special, nothing fantastic. When you contain that small pile of black powder, you get an explosion. You get a pop, like a firecracker. All we have to do is figure out, how do we blow up a... Okay, no, I can't do that. Pyrotechnics?
Why does he look... There's something off here. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like the way that looks. I like his mouth, dude.
A book? I haven't read a book in 10 years. I'm not a terrorist. I'm a scientist. I'm not gonna do anything bad. I just wanna have fun. I figured it out and I didn't need no stinking book. I used my own brain power. 3 neurons. I need this.
God, the muscles,
I have
dude.
created what I like to call pyrotechnic ignition source, or PIC. Connect the green wire to the gray wire. Connect the black wire to the gray wire.
Okay, I don't want to do the same pose. I think I want to do something like this. I think I want the lower... I think I want upper to be like this and then lower to be like this. I'm gonna figure that out.
We're gonna need a bigger piss. Oh, that smells like eggs. The explosion is not anywhere big enough for the die-cast car. Oh yeah, this is the die-cast car. It cost $170. We're gonna have to make something so much bigger to get this thing to actually pop. After a whole lot of experimentation, I present to you the full process and methodology for creating a significantly bigger piss. The first thing you're going to need are some little...
How the fuck do you do elbows, dude?
2. We're going to be using hot glue to hold everything together. A little bit more hot glue. And that is how you make a small pyrotechnic special effect fireball shooter. We're going to use a beaker to measure out a little bit of not Gatorade. 3, 2, 1. That was awesome. The base blew up.
It's so hard to fucking picture this because it's like these are his armpits, but also these are his armpits. Jesus.
Base would stay on. We want to burst through to the fuel, not for the fuel to go flying up. So I think if we look at the ceiling, let's not look at our failures. Let's only look at our success. I'm gonna try to explain this without making a tutorial. The black powder sits at the bottom of the container and the fuel above it. When the powder ignites, it propels the fuel upward, atomizing it and igniting it, creating a fireball. I didn't animate the fireball because it's 2 in the morning. This is my friend Alex Ernst, mostly known for being friends with David Dobrik.
and we're going to use his white Tesla.
So this here is Michael Reeves' friend, William.
We need to find model making materials to build the miniature set.
To make the car look scale.
Let's literally drive to the beach and put sand in it.
For $3, you want to drive to the beach for $3?
No, this isn't even enough. We'd have to buy at least 8 of these.
And apparently we also need to buy a pair of pants.
Here you see a wild Alex Ernst shopping for pants.
Don't tell people what my pant size is.
It's recording.
Take a video, picture.
You put it on video.
Which one did you pay more for, the model one or the full-size one?
This one.
Now what we're gonna do is the first forced perspective where Alex interacts with his car. So we need to make asphalt, so we're gonna use sandpaper. We're gonna line it up like it's in the parking spot. We're gonna put the camera down here, and we just need to add enough asphalt to make it look like it's in the right spot. So that's what I'm trying to do right now, is oh God. So if Alex stands on this line, kind of where the back door would be, this whole thing works pretty well up until I start moving closer to the camera. And then it just starts getting weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder. Now I'm like a giant, and your brain really wants to convince itself that things are okay. So we're gonna take our fireball effect, and we're gonna shove that into the back seat of the car. And then we're gonna close the door. I feel like I'm on the, like doing bomb squad stuff, but like I put the bomb there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 different charges we're gonna set off at the same time. Trunk, front, and then the underside of the car, and then the fireball to blow everything out. And I don't know, this is it. This is basically the best I think we can do in the time that we have with the abilities that we were given. Switching to high frame rate, so we're doing 120 frames a second. We're gonna hook the charges up. 3, 2, 1. Let's watch that back really quick. I think that's gonna look really good. Oh, that looks pretty good though. The roof is broken. The doors, they're all just singed and they popped open a little bit. Welcome to editing. This is where I spend 90% of my day making YouTube videos, is in front of a computer looking at clips of all the science I did and trying to figure out how to put it together in the correct order, in the right pacing to make the video good. I just want to do science. I don't have to do the editing, and I don't even know if there's anyone who can help me edit, because all the other YouTubers, they like, even Mark Rober edits his own videos, and I just sit in front of this computer all day editing. Sorry about that. We filmed our explosion at 120 frames per second because when we slow it down, it makes the physics feel bigger. I'm gonna add a little bit of camera shake using some code. I'm gonna add a white parking line in and the blinkers for when the horn is going off. So a lot of people don't realize how important sound is, but if you have a video that's low quality with good sound, that's okay. If you have a video that's...
Bruh.
This is what the original
do
audio
that.
sounds like for the explosion. And this is what the new sound effects sound like. We even went back and recorded the car alarm in the exact location so we could get it to sound right. And now we're going to show you the video that we filmed to convince the internet that Alex Ernst became a millionaire and blew up his car in celebration.
I'm a millionaire now, guys. And you know what happens when I'm a millionaire? I can do crazy things like blow up my Tesla Model 3. Because I can do that.
You need your safety glasses.
I need my safety glasses.
Take this, take the white wire and the black wire in each hand.
Do I do anything with this one?
No.
Okay. I can't believe they're letting me do the detonator. Of course they are. I'm a millionaire. I can do whatever I want. Just kidding. So I'm gonna blow up my Tesla Model 3 and get a brand new one. I'm gonna get that plaid one, I think, actually.
You're gonna pay for your own Tesla this time?
Yeah. Shut up. Fire in the hole!
Why is this stupid thing come up?
What stupid thing? I feel like I'm doing tech support for my grandmother right now. Oh, hello, Alex. We have successfully fooled Twitter. All of your Twitter followers are stupid and believe that we blew the car up. Jay Schlatt, I would have taken the car, Alex. You actually did it. Why? Ian is an idiot, too.
I was expecting some good editing when I saw the smoke and flame, but it was real. Go to the next comment. Let's go.
Wow, Elon Musk, right?
Who even? That's not even Elon Musk. I legit can't tell if this is a joke or not.
Get more views giving it away to a poor person than blowing up a perfectly good car that is useless. It's a written on Tesla bought real cheap for theater. This is me having a stroke after reading the comment.
But rather than blow it up like most millionaires, okay, that doesn't happen, but you could have given it away, or better yet, sold it and gave it to 8 people. I suspect he opened all the doors and turned on the alarm, and someone is inside with a flamethrower and smoke machine.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of person that I was talking about at the beginning of the video.
Whether this is real or fake or not, this is why suddenly rich people lose all their money fast.
Because they go and blow up cars.
This is my favorite one. Cute. Show your privilege during a pandemic. I love these kind of comments. I just love it.
Why did you take it down?
I'm not talking about a therapist. I mean, a lawyer.
One person that comments on this video.
Took it down.
I mean, a lawyer.
Why did you take it down?
I'm not talking about a therapist. I mean, a lawyer.
One person that comments on this video can win this broken thing.
One man's trash is another man's burden.
trash. It's a burden.
It's just trash.
Trash is a burden.
All right, let's go. Let's get out of here. It's cold and I'm hungry. Come here, Alex.
All right, that was an interesting video. Not really. I didn't watch it, basically. Ah, fishies. I like this guy's videos too. Food the flower horn. Got very calming videos. Usually they're about shrimp and shit. I think he got a new fishy. How do you draw legs? Monkey leg. Monkey. Monkey. Okay. Monkey. Oh. Yes. I think that's alright. Honestly, that's not terrible. Oh, he has hair. Oh, I forgot the beard. I did forget. Of course. Legs. Paint. Paint. Cloth. How's beard look? Eh, it's close enough. His ears too. That's nice. Sure. There was usual videos are kind of like. My shit's lagging. It's fine. The hands are kind of scuffed. I don't know. The fuck is this? I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it, dude. Fuck it. Fuck it. Nipple. Nipple. Elongated. Perfect. Perfect. I feel like there should just be like a one big layer, one base yellow. And there's a lot of classical music there. It got me focusing. Ooh. That's cool. Robo Spy Iguana. Yeah, these dudes' videos are sick too. Robots, robot animals. Very cool.
Way up internet, we had some snow the other day. Way up internet, we had some snow the other day, and I took the screw tank out, and we had a lovely time. Now, I did say in my top comment, is there any other of my vehicles that I've made that you think I should also take out in the snow? And somebody had a fantastic idea. They said, Furs, get your drift trike, put spikes on the rear wheels, swap the front wheel for a ski, and I'm like, that is fantastic. So that's what we're going to do. Yes, I've just noticed my shirt needs ironing. Welcome to the Colin Furs channel. Oh, these things are so awesome. This one's been thrashed up and down airfields and all over the place. It's had ex-Formula 1 driver Martin Brundle ride it. I've made an electric version, which I took to Rome and went around the Formula E track. And in the first lockdown, I showed you how you could make one without a welder, just bolting it all together. So what we're going to do is, right, front wheel's coming out. We need to put a ski in. And luckily enough, I have a ski. I've had this knocking around this house for about 10 years. I saw someone go to chuck it out in a dust cart, and I was like, you're not throwing that out. I'll have it. And it's just been getting in the way for ages. But no, today we're actually going to use it. And then I've got these little shock absorber bits, which will kind of sit down the back somehow, because you have to kind of keep the ski like facing upwards all the time, and then it kind of moves around. Right, and then of course we've got to put some spikes sticking out of the drift sleeves. Pretty simple, really. Let's get cracking.
He's definitely a lot bulkier in this image. For sure. I guess I have to draw the weights too. I just realized I drew the hair really weird. Definitely got a different expression on my. Smooth boy.
Finished! Suspension feels about right. I've added a skid plate. Spikes look lovely. Now then, used to be one of the safest machines I've ever made. You could be tearing down a runway, you could spin it at high speed, you pretty much couldn't flip it. But now, I've got a spiky thing which could jab into the ground. The skid plate could actually chop my feet off, and then if I do fall off it, I've got a load of spikes on the wheels which can tear my skin and arms to pieces. It's kind of got a little bit more furs, hasn't it? Right, we need a test. We need some snow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is a machine. I think we need a snow dance. Right, we got some snow. Is it gonna work? GoPro down, however, it is actually still recording. Unbelievable. Oh dear, we've snapped the chain. If anything, it's got too much grip, but it does work. What a machine. Okay, made some adjustments. We fixed the chain.
I think it's fine. I don't really want to do the 3D aspect of it. I think this is fine. Golden buoy. I think that's. Mm. Yeah, it looks good. I don't know. So I guess it's not as buff. I'm trying to figure out what's kind of bothering. Ooh. Not bothering me. Hmm. I think it looks fine. I think
And we've like ground off the central bolts because they were quite tall. And I think anything had too much grip, so we'll see how we go on with this. Right.
it's one down.
Lincolnshire Shepherd. I think I'm a bit mucky, ain't I? No mud guards, stuff flying everywhere. Drift ski! Hey, what an adaptation! Now, this thing worked exactly as I hoped it would. The only thing we had to play around with was the grip levels. Now, naturally, anything with 3 wheels and no differential doesn't want to steer, but of course, when they're drift trikes, they have no rear grip. You can just steer them on the power. But of course, this thing has got grip, and it's got so much grip, it caught me out, because the first time I pulled away on it, shot off the back. If you want to see more drift trikes, I've done loads of these on my channel. I've done jet powered ones, I've done electric ones, of course there's this one, the petrol one, and of course if you want to make your own, I've even done a tutorial video how you can make one with no welder. The whole thing all bolts together. And if you do make your own one, you can get Colin Firth sticker kits on the Colin Firth shop. So there we are, that's drift trikes, that's snow skis, ski trikes, ski drifts, can't remember what I've called it. Excellent. Subscribe, see you in the next video. Boom.
Can do bulwark. I guess so. I have bulwark, Fabian, and Tiny still to do. Dude, I'm so proud of the racks though. That's so good. I like that. Golden Boy came out not bad. I'm pretty happy with him. I can't do the muscles, dude. The muscles fuck me up.
left many children dead and broken, and its name was the president. In elementary school and middle school, there was a boogeyman that left many children dead and broken, and its name was the presidential fitness test. It was a fitness test that could make even the most seasoned professional athletes question their faith in God. Must have been designed by Satan himself. This shit was absolutely brutal as a child. It was like designed to turn children into super soldiers like Captain America. But I figured that now that I'm older and at least twice as powerful as an 8-year-old child, I could probably tackle the presidential fitness course. So I got my friends together and we decided to go through it, and it was absolutely fucking brutal, still to this day. So the first step on the path to becoming a superhero and the president is by running a mile, which I haven't done probably since high school, so it's been a little while. We measured out a mile in the warehouse, and we were ready to get after it. That's probably at least 6 feet, right?
75.
Nice. 50 plus 75, Matt, what is it?
Well, the problem is that side's not equal.
You'd have to do 26.4
That
laps.
sounds a little more accurate. Okay.
About.
All right. I think Andrew's gonna win.
I don't know if I can even run that one. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'll try.
it won't be me.
I'm just gonna come out and say there's not a chance either of you beat me in a mile.
I have to run jeans.
You don't have laces on your shoes.
Yeah, they're running shoes.
I've watched you pull your shorts up like 8 times today.
That's because they were weighed down by my phone,
Right.
which I will take out for the mile.
I'm just saying, from what I've seen today, I thoroughly think I have the advantage.
So how are we gonna keep track?
Just in your head.
But I'm sure we'll be keeping around the same pace. I think Matt's overestimating himself.
All right, Matt, you count, and they'll just, I'm sure, stop when you're done or something.
No. We're all gonna finish the presidential fitness test and be like the president's
This is a nice
chosen
little
warriors.
police lineup with the grate behind you. It's like the lines. Looks good.
All right,
These men are wanted for committing a mile.
All right, are you guys ready to go?
Yeah.
I guess. Are we like sprinting or
Oh, I'm
endurance?
going for a good time.
You're shooting for the best time, Andrew. So.
Oh God. There's
Oh,
I ate a cookie.
I'm feeling good.
I feel like you guys are gonna burn out early, and I'm going for endurance.
Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
On your
I'm
marks.
looking like I'm gonna sprint into a mile.
I haven't ran.
Yeah,
Get
you're not
set.
sprinting this.
Go.
Ooh, get out of my fucking way.
This is such good content.
Yeah, this is riveting.
Video, let me tell you.
That's one.
This is easy. I'm chicken in the afterburners.
2. I know Charlie's cruising.
I don't want to do this.
Charlie's on 3. That's 4. How we doing?
I'm feeling good. I'm starting to hurt a little bit, but that just means I'm warming up. It's the joints getting into place.
How are you guys doing? Your tag team in it.
We're keeping each other going. It's hard when you're in jeans.
Matt can't even talk.
And when you're this handsome.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm thinking.
Okay.
The cogs are turning. Oh Lord.
I don't know what I've been told.
Oh no, I've been told.
Bring him on easy, bring him on back, bring him on easy.
What lap are you on?
I think it's
9? Okay. Like you just finished 9 or you're on 9? I can hear Charlie fading.
Dang. Oh yeah.
I can't.
Oh, he's coming up on you, Charlie. He's coming up on you.
Oh, I can't. Okay, I'm finished.
You can walk some of it.
Yeah. It's the cold weather. Oh. Oh.
Charlie hit 11.
Woo!
Matt hit 12.
It's just the frigid temperatures messing with my teeth. And that's slowing me down a little bit. Once I get my second wind, it's all good. Woo.
How we doing?
Good. Once I get this water, oh, it's over. That's when the turbo mode engages. Oh, I think I'm having a heart attack.
Andrew just left.
Why am I doing this? Why am I still going? This makes no sense.
Presidential fitness schools. You can't stop. And you let down your country.
Best part is this was Charlie's idea.
Yeah, Charlie's doing real well.
I thought we did.
Oh, hold on, I gotta give the old ankle some time to cool down. Wow. Running's Charlie.
Stay down, stay down.
Running's weird when you're old. That's what I needed. I'm back.
Are you on your last lap, Matt?
Yep.
Oh. The last one. Push it, let's go, come on. The speed demon.
Oh, I gotta beat him. I gotta beat him. Come on.
What'd you get? 850.
Huh, pretty good.
What are you on, Charlie? 20?
Hit 20, baby.
All right, 4 more.
So what did you get? 850?
Yeah.
So I need to run the 9.
Time to start running again.
I don't think I'm getting a sub 10. But the dream's not dead yet. Here it
Come
comes.
on. I'll run with you.
All right. That should be good. All right. Ooh, the ankles are feeling good.
There we go. There we go.
Rejuvenated. I can't really lift my legs very high. Kind of limping a little bit, actually. Ow. 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 Oh,
When is the last time you ran?
literal years, like 6 or 7 years ago. Oh,
You only got to get through 2 more.
we're almost there.
All right, 2 more. You can do it.
All right.
Come on. Let's see what we're at time-wise. It's this corner. It's just messing you up. You gotta take that corner better.
It's a little sleek.
Is it in your left leg where your shoe is a size too big?
No.
No, not that one.
Not that one.
We have a room, Matt.
Oh,
We have a
don't blink, you might miss me.
I'm ready.
I'm taking the final corner.
He's almost there. He's coming in. The final lap.
There we go, cross that line.
Cross the line. Oh! Woo! Woo! How are we feeling? Post-game interview.
I'm ready for the
Next mile?
phase. Yeah.
Nice
Hey.
throne.
Thanks, this is the presidential throne.
That was good. Haven't ran in a long time, but I bet you wouldn't guess it.
Andrew, how many laps do you have left?
20. I'm done.
Wow, that was
Pretty
good.
sure I threw an extra lap in there.
All right. I'm gonna put an ice pack on my leg or something, maybe. I ended up going outside and puking into the storm drain. Not because I was exhausted, just disappointed with my mile time, I think is what caused it. Just a truly repulsive time on the mile. It was well over 12 minutes or something like that, and my body just couldn't handle such disappointment, so I had to go puke, and I felt significantly better, so yeah. And I think one thing that really helped me feel better was chugging some Peach Rings G Fuel. If you're interested in trying G Fuel for yourself or already love G Fuel, make sure to use code MOIST at the G Fuel website to get some money off your order. That's code MOIST at G Fuel for some money off.
All right, so 6 pull-ups, and you're the president.
Yeah, let's move this over here.
What if
so
we
I can
just
reach it, though.
what if we just pulled a tire over? 'Cause there-
No, I'll pull this step.
Oh yeah, there's a step.
Go ahead.
No, you go first.
No, you go. I want to see.
Honestly, I think I can. I'm okay.
I want to see
Oh,
your
Andrew's back in the
picture
game.
at 6
Nice.
pull-ups.
Okay.
All right, kick the thing out from under him once he's.
Yeah. Ready?
So I think it's supposed to be overhand grip.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's pull-ups.
Ready?
Yep. Oh, that's good form. I regret doubting you. Oh, come down further than that.
And there's presidential level.
What's next?
Oh, I think I become like.
Oh, now he's just showing off.
Nice Galactic Emperor level. Oh, now he's Vice President level. Is that above President? Yeah, they go harder. Good work.
I'll stop at 15.
This is absolutely my weakness.
You can do chin-ups if you think the president would like it.
We know Mr. Biden doesn't allow chin-ups.
Alright?
I will take my loss like a man.
I like that. Captain knows when to go down with the ship.
Yeah, Matt. Come on, Matt. Matt, one more. I like the last one. How many is it? 6?
6.
6 for presidential level.
I absolutely
Jesus.
kipped on those, but
It's fine.
it's been so long. Like I said, that's my weakness.
Anything upper body I'm good at.
Attaboy, Andrew.
Andrew feeling it. Nice. He wants to be the leader of the free world.
One more, Andrew. One more. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Push, 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 push. Nice.
There it
I was
is.
trying not to swing.
Very good.
That was great. Push up time.
Push-ups. I went first last time.
Matt, you go first.
How many am I going for? At least 10 if you know what's good for you.
53 is apparently the standard for 17-year-old boys.
17-year-old boys, 53 push-ups. Matt, you are how old? 14. Now, how old, come on, how old are you? 20 what?
26.
So doing some extrapolation of data here, you need to do 106 push-ups. Okay, perfect. I'll shoot for 106. All right.
He's 26.
Do 120 what?
26.
So doing some extrapolation of data here, you need to do 106 push-ups.
Isn't Charlie like only a year older than me? I keep thinking I'm 25 too. 24.
Okay, perfect. I'll shoot for 106. All right. So which form are we doing?
The correct one.
Right angle push-ups, so regular ass push-ups. Ooh, you start high. You just said full push-ups.
Do it.
You meant your ass is high.
Your ass was high.
Yeah.
Like you're pushing up, not taking a dip.
I gotta tell you, I don't like what I'm seeing with that form.
Well, I know my back is perfect right now. Am I not going low enough?
He's not going low. He's not hitting chest on the
Chin to the
ground.
ground, baby. All right, if we're doing full ones, I'll do full
We
ones.
need
That's
full
the
ones.
test. Okay. Then we're locking out at the top too.
Okay, that's fine.
There you go. That's a push-up.
That's good.
Maybe they do just do like half arm
They
baby
have.
push-ups. I'm telling you, when you do competition push-ups, they're literally here. Oh, that's nothing nice.
Yeah, that's literally a nothing.
I'm just gonna stop. I don't want to do anymore. My shoulder hurts. Oh, that's nothing nice. I'm telling you, when you do competition push-ups, they're literally here. Oh, that's nothing nice.
Yeah, that's literally a nothing.
I'm just gonna stop. I don't want to do anymore. My shoulder hurts. Your chest isn't touching.
Yes, it is. 100%.
That's your stomach touching.
It's my chest. You gonna try and kiss me down here?
There you go.
It's been touching the whole time. I don't know what I'm at now, though.
I'm in a precarious position. Yeah.
Is anybody keeping track?
No. At least 4.
I think you're at like 30.
And 6.
It's probably like 30 if I had to guess. I'll do another set in a minute.
Who wants to be the president?
I do. Oh, that feels good.
Oh, that chest isn't touching.
I can't. I'm touching my nose. That's kind of gross.
You slam your face into the ground.
I'll do another set.
I'll swing over Matt in action stunt. Oh God, please no.
Whoa!
That was fucking awesome, Matt. Woo! I forget, how many arrows do you have to shoot at the target for the presidential test?
Oh. That was only 19.
Take this, Matt. Hang on. Take this, Johnny.
Oh.
No.
I fucked up my leg.
It's a good video.
Oh.
I'm about to
I've
Kids
passed.
want to watch us work out.
I've passed 2 out of 3 now. Matt's only passed 1. Andrew's passed 1.
I mean, in all fairness, shouldn't you guys have been disqualified for not running the first run?
What was the third one?
Pull-ups, push-ups, stack. You can
I'll
go
touch
first.
your toes if you touch mine.
I can't touch my own toes.
Wait, really?
Yeah, 100%. I'm not flexible.
Try. I can't do it. Here.
Oh, never mind. I just did it.
Oh, you banged your knees back.
Yeah, that's right though.
Oh my God, Andrew! Why? My eyes! Yeah, really.
The presidential chart, I guess.
You win. You get the president.
Touch your toes, Matt.
Touch 'em.
Whoa!
Do that
Touch your
again.
toes, Andrew.
Do that again. I can't. I don't know how.
Do it, Andrew. Go.
I can't come close.
Go,
to
go,
that.
go, go, go. That's like about where I get to. Yeah.
the best I can do. I don't know how Matt does that.
Matt, you're so fucking athletic. He's gearing up for the next mile.
My tummy. The presidential fitness course, still a very difficult course. Also, I feel like the standards are extremely high. After looking it up, for 17-year-old boys, you were expected to do 52 continuous right angle push-ups, and for a 17-year-old boy, expected to do, I think it was 15 pull-ups. I think that's a lot to be asking of a high school student, but I mean, if you want to be the president, I guess you've got to really work for it. But anyway, that's about it. So yeah.
Peace.
The 11th grade.
During the 70s and 80s, Ireland was going through a really rough patch in its history, which was known as the Troubles. The rise in terrorism from groups such as the Provisional IRA and the UVF kept the authorities on both sides of the Irish border on edge. However, there was another epidemic that was giving the Irish authorities grief. Organised crime. A very, very distracted police force meant that the Irish criminal underworld was able to flourish, particularly in Ireland's most deprived urban areas. And it's from one of these areas that a criminal legend was born. A man who tried his hardest to never ever let the public see his face. A man both loved and feared by his own gang. A man so precise in pulling off his crimes that he earned an iconic nickname. Martin Cahill, better known as the General.
The General. Such a good intro song.
But before we get into the mad lad, there is that joke. I can come Lighthouse Love. Click the link. Martin Cahill was born on the 23rd of May, 1949. He grew up in a slum town in the northern part of Dublin, which was notorious for its poverty and violent crime. His dad was a low-income lighthouse keeper, but would end up having 15 children. Catholics, man. I'm allowed to make that joke. I'm allowed to make that joke. I can say Fenian. I can say Taig. Those are our words. Martin's father would spend the small amounts of money that he made all on alcohol, meaning that the rest of the family had to scrape by just to eat. Eventually, Cahill's brothers got so desperate that they would steal food from markets just to feed themselves and the rest of the family. And it is here that Martin would begin his life of crime, helping his brothers steal food from the age of 8. He also constantly skipped school because the teachers would routinely beat and humiliate him in front of his classmates. Thus, Cahill would focus on his true calling in life, which was to pickpocket pedestrians, steal from markets, and burgle houses in the dead of night. He would get caught repeatedly by the Irish police, known locally as the Gardaí, but this didn't make him stop. Instead, it encouraged him to learn from his mistakes and become a much more cunning and talented thief. He would receive his very first criminal conviction at the age of just 12 years old. This isn't to say that he never tried to find legitimate work though. When he was 15 years old, Martin tried to apply for a position in the UK's Royal Navy. When he was given the application form, he was asked to select which of the listed positions he wanted to apply for. Skipping school clearly didn't do Martin much good because he apparently misread the word bugler. You know, like the military personnel who play the bugle. Martin thought that it said burglar. So just imagine, if you will, being a highly respected British naval officer. I mean, you've probably served in the war and you are looking for the next generation of skilled sailors. Then imagine listening to some Irish teenager bragging for 10 minutes about how good and proficient he is at breaking into houses and stealing stuff. Needless to say, the Royal Navy rejected him and Martin returned to his life of crime. The next year, Martin gets thrown in jail for a string of burglaries. A Gardaí officer convinced Cahill to admit to his crimes, possibly to reduce the severity of his punishment. The court then ordered that he be sent to a Catholic reform school for 2 years, from 1965 to 1967, and his treatment there was apparently so bad that he would forever hold a burning resentment for the Gardaí, and he would never ever again admit to any crime. Despite this, Martin's time at reform school would actually prove useful, as he was able to make valuable connections with future partners in crime. Their shared hatred for the authorities allowed them to build up a fierce loyalty with one another, which would be essential for Cahill in his future plans. Upon his release at the age of 18, Martin would eventually meet and marry a girl called Frances Lawless. Lawless. You couldn't get a more fitting name for Cahill's wife if you tried. But even in his relationships, Cahill would go out of his way to buck the social norm. As well as being attracted to Frances, he also quite liked her sister, Tina. So instead of having to choose between them, he decided to just keep going out with both of them. He would go on to have 9 children between the 2 Lawless sisters, though he would eventually get 2 separate houses for both sets of families. The 3 of them were known to very often share the same bed. Martin and his brothers quickly began ramping up their criminal activities by looting warehouses. One of Martin's old contacts from reform school, who now had a job driving delivery vans, would scope out particularly vulnerable locations for the gang to hit. This system went rather well up until Cahill was eventually caught and given his first major prison sentence. He would be in jail from the 19th of March 1970 to the 25th of January 1973. And very much like reform school, Martin would always use his time in jail to establish new contacts and recruit potential gang members. So for Martin, prison was less of a punishment and more like a state-imposed LinkedIn session. After his time in jail, Martin discovered that his brothers were now working with another crime family called the Dunns, taking part in armed robberies and taking even bigger scores. Martin jumped on the opportunity to be shown the ropes, and he got into his first major heist on the 18th of November 1974. This involved raiding a bank security transit van which made frequent stops on a singular route. When the driver was just about to return to the van, a woman pushing a pram had suddenly appeared next to him. But it turns out that this was no caring mother cradling a baby in her arms. It was actually one of the gang members in a dress. And it also wasn't a baby he was holding in his arms. It was a disguised sawn-off shotgun. The gang member aimed his weapon at the men inside the van and said...
That reminds me of Fallout. I think there's like a mine in a baby stroller. If you walk up, it blows up.
He would shoot them if they didn't get out. After they got out, the gang then quickly looted the van, getting away with up to €1 million in today's money. This was actually the biggest cash heist in Irish history at this point, and when investigations started to take place, Martin managed to get away with his part in the robbery because of the lack of evidence against him. However, despite all of the successes the Cahills and Dunns had achieved together, tensions started building between the two crime families. Martin had actually been a complete teetotaler for his entire life, purely from witnessing his dad throwing away all of his money and neglecting his family because of alcohol. So when the Dunns started up their own drug ring, Martin wanted absolutely nothing to do with it. And this created a rift within the gang. The split finally occurred when the two families had completed a jewellery heist, with the Cahills not receiving their fair share of the loot because it had apparently went missing. Martin had suspected that this was just an excuse to shortchange them, and so he decided to form his own gang in 1975. From here, Martin would plan and coordinate intricate heists and robberies with almost military precision. In fact, he would drill the gang so thoroughly before a heist that his henchmen started calling him by his iconic nickname, the General. The General would always make sure that he had at least one major take a week. This would involve either hitting small town banks, stealing factory pay slips, or raiding bank security vans. Martin was known for being completely restless in his passion for stealing. Former gang members would actually report that even if they had just pulled off a major heist, the General would still go out every night and burgle people's houses just for the thrill of it.
I can't draw my...
In fact, Martin was actually quite a strange guy, even for the standards of Irish criminals. Far from being a toned, athletic cat burglar, the General was short, fat, and going bald. And he would very often wear worn jeans and stained t-shirts in his off time, despite the vast wealth that he had gathered from his criminal activities. Also, unlike other organised criminals who want to do everything they can to fly under the radar, the General would actually go out of his way to make a deliberate effort to antagonise and humiliate the authorities whenever he could. Instead of purchasing firearms from foreign gun runners, the General would intentionally raid Gardaí armories full of confiscated weaponry. This was to be seen as some sort of ironic gesture, whenever he used these same weapons in an armed robbery. This man was such a good criminal that he was able to rob police stations. He would even go much further than this in 1976 and in 1979, where he would raid the Werburg Street Labour Exchange. That's right, he hit it twice. He hit the same place twice. The Labour Exchange is where many people in Dublin collected their benefits from, and it was located just off of the main Gardaí headquarters, and the General would secure a total of £125,000 in cash from both of these robberies, with the Gardaí failing to catch him on both occasions. However, the General was not impervious to getting caught, and he was once again sent to prison. He would serve a 4-year sentence from 1977 to 1980 for stealing vehicles with the intent to use them in an armed robbery. Whilst the General was serving his sentence, the troubles in Northern Ireland were really beginning to escalate. This consequently distracted the Irish authorities away from the problems of organised crime, which suited the General perfectly. By the time he was released, the General was able to quickly rebuild his influence and recruit up to 30 hardened criminals into his new platoon. Between 1980 and 1982, the General managed to steal around £400,000 worth of cash and assets. However, this was no longer enough to satisfy him, and throughout the mid-80s, he wanted to find a way to secure a once-in-a-lifetime payday. His first attempt at this was the O'Connor's jewellery heist. Thomas O'Connor and Sons were a jewellery factory in Dublin which supplied jewellery shops throughout the country with very high-end and very expensive jewellery. Fortunately for the General, he already had an insider at the factory. His gang were frequently meeting with an employee there who would smuggle out gold dust and uncut jewels to sell off to the gang, and both parties would make thousands from simply selling the raw gold and diamonds alone. The General was soon convinced of the massive amounts of money that could be made from a successful raid of the factory. So he dedicated half a year into planning every small detail of the operation. When everything was finalised, the General decided to strike on the 16th of July 1983. This was the best time for the General because most of the staff would be on holiday, which would make crowd control a lot easier and also reduce the chances of someone contacting the Gardaí. On the evening before the robbery, the General's men broke into a boiler house located next to the factory where they began to prepare for the morning's raid. The General would remain on a nearby hill to coordinate the men via radio and to also be on the lookout for any nearby Gardaí patrols. When morning came and the manager had turned off the factory's security systems, the General signalled his men to start storming the building and to begin lifting as much jewellery as possible. It took around 35 minutes for the men to completely fill up their modified getaway cars with jewellery, and for the whole heist, the Gardaí were never alerted once, and the men were able to make a completely clean getaway. And they had managed to steal €10.5 million worth of jewellery. This heist would prove to be another record-breaking moment for the General, as it was recorded as being the largest jewellery heist ever in Irish history at the time. The financial hit to the O'Connor's factory was actually so bad that they were forced to close later in the year, which cost over 100 workers their jobs. Unfortunately, instead of swimming in Scrooge McDuck-sized pools of cash, the General could only sell the jewellery for a fraction of what it was worth, on account of the jewellery being what's the criminal term, too hot. He would end up only making around £200,000 from the entire haul. Ironically, he would have probably made more money from just selling the uncut gems and gold dust that he was getting, which he now couldn't get anymore because the factory was forced to close. It was during this saga that the General revealed his more ruthless side. A courier responsible for smuggling the jewellery to a London buyer for £40,000 was actually raided by the London police. However, because the courier wasn't heard from in 2 weeks, Martin thought that he had just ran off with the money. So when the courier returned to Dublin, the General tortured him by crucifying him to the floor. After several hours of driving nails through the courier's hands, the General was finally convinced that he didn't steal the money and delivered him to a nearby hospital. Well, that was nice of him. The General, however, was still desperate to score the big take. So, eventually, he got the idea to raid a prominent private art collection located at a place called Rusborough House. Rusborough House was bought and renovated by a former Conservative MP called Sir Alfred Beat. He primarily used the house to store his many rare paintings that he had collected over the years, and by the 80s, Sir Beat had actually opened up the house as a public gallery for everyone to appreciate his art collection. The General cased the gallery for 2 months, studying the alarm system, the routes of entry, and deciding which of the paintings he wanted to steal. And by the 21st of May 1986, he was finally ready to undertake the second biggest art heist in the world. In the dead of night, the General and his men approached the gallery and began to remove one of the window panes. The General then deliberately set off the infrared sensors and quickly disabled them before jumping back out and replacing the window pane. This was a deliberate tactic to trick the housekeeper into thinking that it was just a false alarm, and it also allowed the General to actually get inside and switch the alarm off so it wouldn't go off again when he re-entered. So after the Gardaí had finished a light patrol around the area, the General and his men simply removed the pane again and went back inside and started removing 11 paintings from the gallery. And that was that. The General managed to steal £20 million worth of paintings without so much as breaking a sweat. He stored the paintings in a secret location in the Dublin mountains, and he waited for the cash to start flowing in. Unfortunately, very much like the O'Connor's heist, though he stole what would have been millions of pounds worth of paintings, their value on the black market would be next to worthless. That is, if he was ever lucky enough to actually sell any of the paintings, because just like with the O'Connor's heist, the merchandise was far too hot. International police were put on such high alert after the art house theft that it became basically impossible for the General to actually even sell the paintings without getting caught. His men even came to believe that the paintings were actually cursed because of the sheer amount of bad luck they had had in trying to get rid of them. All 11 paintings would eventually be returned to the gallery after successful sting and seizure operations throughout the years. However, these high-profile raids meant that the General began attracting unwanted attention from the Gardaí. This began in 1981, where Martin was once again charged with an armed robbery. The typical way that the General would deal with this problem would be to send his men to raid the court building in the middle of the night and steal the case files and all of the evidence which incriminated him.
The most daring job said to be done by this gang took place last August at the offices of the Director of Public Prosecutions. It was an astonishing breach of security. The gang stole more than 100 files. They included 16 major armed robberies, assault and drug cases, the O'Connor jewellery file, the MacArthur and Patrick Cahill murders, the Jennifer Guinness kidnap.
However, he soon discovered that this tactic was not going to work because of one man. Dr. James Donovan. Donovan was one of Ireland's top forensic scientists, and his work as an expert witness had actually already sent a lot of the general's men to jail. The development of forensic science had posed a serious threat to the general's future plans, and thus the general decided that Donovan had to die. The general hired a member of the Irish National Liberation Army to construct a car bomb for him. The INLA, for those who don't know, were basically the socialist branch of the IRA. Well, at least they were back then. Nowadays, all of the IRA is socialist. The general's aim was for Donovan's death to interrupt the forensic investigation into his robberies, and also to ultimately pin the assassination onto the IRA, who were infamous for this type of murder at the time. The first assassination attempt commenced on the 24th of November 1981. Thankfully, the bomb had failed to properly detonate and only resulted in minor damage being done to Donovan's car. The second attempt actually worked as far as the bomb actually being detonated this time, but it still failed to kill Donovan. Unfortunately, it did permanently disfigure him and left him in a lot of pain. It did permanently disfigure him and left him in a lot of pain for the rest of his life. Despite these two assassination attempts, Donovan would bravely continue to appear in the general's court cases, where he was now being charged with attempted murder on top of the original armed robbery cases. Ironically, Martin was acquitted on both charges because of a lack of forensic evidence and also some legal technicalities employed by his lawyers. This meant that killing Donovan would have been absolutely pointless and did nothing but attract more public and Gardaí attention to the infamous general. By 1987, the Gardaí had finally had enough of the general's antics, so they commissioned their serious crime squad to deal with him. They decided that the best approach was to place the general and his top accomplices on 24-hour surveillance, manned by a dedicated team of Gardaí officers. They would be known colloquially as the Tango Squad, as they had issued each target with the codename Tango. The general was referred to as Tango 1. On New Year's Day of 1988, the general and his men had awoken to swarms of Gardaí officers surrounding their homes and found themselves being constantly followed by unmarked police cars. The officers would deliberately sit right next to them in pubs and conduct constant stop and frisk searches on them. Their aim was to drive the criminals so mad that they would either quit organised crime altogether or make a mistake which would land them in jail. However, this soon turned ugly, as the general responded by sending his men to intimidate members of the Tango Squad, and he also hired thugs to actually ram their police cars off the road. The Gardaí also caught on to rumours that the general was planning to assassinate the officer in charge of the Tango Squad, which required him to be put under constant armed protection. Though the operation wouldn't land the general himself in jail, The Tango Squad did succeed in locking up a lot of his top accomplices and also forced many of his other gang members to quit, which severely reduced the General's ability to pull off big heists like he had before. Journalists began reporting on the General's exploits in late 1987, but would eventually get to land their very first interview with him in 1988. An RTE programme called The Today Tonight Show had decided to conduct a 40-minute documentary on the General and his criminal history. The TV crew was driven around by the Tango Squad, who revealed that Martin owned two properties. One was a house in an upper middle class area that he bought for his wife, and a council house which her sister lived in. The journalists managed to stop the General on his way back home from collecting his benefits. The cheeky bastard. And they attempted to get to know as much as they could about the General.
All right, you're Martin Cahill, right?
Yeah.
You live in 21 Swan Grove.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Right. There are guys sitting outside your house in cars every morning.
Yes, I never see them.
24 hours a day, between there, Copper Downs, and wherever you go.
No, never see them. Serious, no, I don't see them.
Right, Martin, right. Why does everybody, i.e. the guards and criminal people, say Martin Cahill is the General?
Never, no one ever said it to me.
Well, I'm saying that that's what people say. You've seen it in the papers, you've seen it, you know, you've seen it published.
No, serious, no. It must be someone else. It must be another Martin Cahill somewhere.
Right, okay, there might be another.
Now, if you couldn't understand any of that, I'm not subtitling it. Tough titty, stop being racist. But this interview did establish the General's public persona, where he would hide his face as much as possible and come across as quite the joker. Also, the whole wearing a ski mask during interviews thing became quite a big meme with the General. He would go on to even wear balaclavas in public, and at one point he also wore a pair of those joke shop glasses to court, which the judge was very unhappy with. The General would have fun with the media whenever he made a TV appearance, probably as an attempt to get the public on his side.
7 Garda witnesses gave evidence and the case was adjourned. Martin Cahill then left the court, where he handed out a statement. And then, to the astonishment of reporters, he began to do a small jig
from you
and removed his trousers.
Jesus Christ.
Mr. Cahill was then arrested but later released, shortly after he gave this interview to RTE.
Despite the increased public awareness about the General, Martin would still go out and commit armed robberies, though not to the same scale as his earlier heists. By the turn of the 90s, Martin decided that he wanted to retire on a high note, as the Gardaí had eliminated most of his gang and he himself came closer to getting locked up. He decided to take on one last major heist in September of 1993, this time focusing on the National Irish Bank. The plan would be to abduct the bank's CEO and get him to withdraw a massive amount of cash. He would then hand this cash over to the General without it being traced back to him. The General successfully abducted the CEO and his wife on the 1st of November 1993, and they were being detained in an unknown location with another kidnapped victim who befriended them because, you know, they were in this together. But this other kidnapped victim was a plant. He was actually one of the General's henchmen put in there to gain the trust of the CEO. And this henchman was such a good method actor that he even agreed to take a bullet to the leg to terrify the CEO. Now that is dedication. After being frightened into submission, the CEO and the general's plant were told to go to the bank and withdraw money, while the CEO's wife stayed behind with the hostage takers as an insurance policy in case the CEO tried to pull something funny. So the CEO and the general's plant went to the bank where they were expected to withdraw millions of pounds in cash. However, the CEO was only able to withdraw £400,000. And although disappointed, the general's plant couldn't press the issue any further, otherwise he would blow his cover. After dropping the cash off, the three hostages, so including the general's plant, visited a nearby Gardaí station where they reported the kidnapping. The general had hoped that by putting his plant into the mix, he would be able to throw the scent away from him, through him feeding the Gardaí false information that wouldn't make them suspect the general. But this completely backfired, because during their investigation, the Gardaí discovered that during the time that the general's henchman was, being held hostage, he had somehow managed to repeatedly collect his dole money in person. This completely untangled the whole conspiracy, with the general being charged with kidnapping and extortion. Though he got released on bail shortly afterwards, this would be the general's last attempt at a big score, though not because he gave up. By 1994, the general had been slowly amassing a mountain of enemies who all wanted him dead. The IRA commonly used fear tactics against criminal gangs in order to extort money from them to finance their operations. The general was pretty much the only gangster in Dublin to not bend the knee, and he repeatedly refused to share his loot with them. However, the real turning point was when the general tried to sell some of his infamous stolen paintings off to the Ulster Volunteer Force. Now, the UVF was a Northern Irish terrorist group who fought against the IRA to keep Northern Ireland in the United Kingdom. And though the general didn't care who bought the paintings, he just wanted the money, he was assumed to be a UVF accomplice by the IRA from that point on. And that was a very bad position to be in. The IRA would call for the general's death when the UVF claimed responsibility for a shooting at a Sinn Féin fundraiser on the 21st of May 1991. Sinn Féin are the Irish political party which are associated with the IRA. Technically, they are the IRA, at least they're made up of the old members of the IRA. It's complicated. Typically, if you are already in the firing line of one terrorist group, you should probably try your best not to piss off another one. But that is exactly what the general did. Despite having worked together in the past, the ILNA had developed a hatred for Martin in 1992. A member of the general's gang had forced himself upon the 14-year-old daughter of an INLA lieutenant, and instead of just throwing him to the wolves, the general attempted to stick up for the guy by trying to bribe and intimidate the family into not pressing charges. That's not a good look. Even some of his own men were getting nervous, as the general was demanding cuts from drug rings or heists that he had nothing to do with. other criminal gangs, purely out of a commercial taking out the competition interest, also wanted to be rid of the general, leaving Martin dangerously isolated and without any friends to watch over him. It's believed that the general was becoming gradually more unhinged as a result of his worsening and untreated diabetes, which would explain the more rash decisions that he would make later on in his life. On the 18th of August 1994, a hitman disguised himself as a traffic surveyor and waited at a junction that the general would often drive through. After stopping the general, the assassin took out his revolver and shot the general repeatedly in the head and torso, killing him instantly. The assassin then made his getaway on a motorbike. The IRA would claim sole responsibility for the general's death, though most investigators believe that the INLA and other criminal gangs were actually working together to conduct the assassination. The general's unique story and complex personality have made him a huge subject of interest in Irish popular culture. He's been featured in 3 films and has had countless books and dramas written about him. In 2008, the general's eldest daughter released a book called My Father, attempting to get people to see the general's good side, as she put it. I mean, I'm all for fair representation, but I think the charity for that stuff kind of goes right out the door when you're car bombing people or sticking up for beasts. In general, Martin Cahill still lives on as a legend in the history of organised crime in Ireland. Though he made a lot of enemies at the end of his life, he is still pretty much revered by many Irish gangsters, and his name still haunts many of his former victims. He has been described as being very instrumental in the rise of organised crime in Ireland, with many gangs being able to trace some parts of their origins back to the general himself. So you could say that Martin Cahill was more than just a gang leader. He was one of the founding godfathers. But anyway, like and subscribe and nobody gets hurt.
It's Count Dankula on YouTube. Everybody should subscribe.
In elementary school and middle school, there was a boogeyman that left many children dead and broken, and its name was the Presidential Fitness Test. It was a fitness test that could make even the most seasoned professional athletes question their faith in God. Must have been designed by Satan himself. The shit was absolutely brutal as a child. It was like designed to turn children into super soldiers like Captain America. But I figured that now that I'm older and at least twice as powerful as an 8-year-old child, I could probably tackle the presidential fitness course. So I got my friends together and we decided to go through it, and it was absolutely fucking brutal still to this day. So the first step on the path to becoming a superhero
for me to stay
I'm
in
probably gonna finish this up and call it a day, actually. So Ooh, wait, should I add the... Should. Couple of... There we go. Nope. Something looks good. Alright. Old Copper, I don't know if you're still here, but I think I'm gonna end it. We made 2 boys today. We made Bulwark and we made Golden Boy. Good work. Good work. I think they came out very nice. Very happy with all of these. Alien Boy's got some thick lines though. Might redo him. Yeah. Alright, well next stream probably Sunday. Next drawing stream maybe Tuesday. Depending on how Copper feels, it could either be Sunday or Tuesday. And then it could be... I'd rather have Tuesday and then maybe the following Thursday. I don't want to mess up the schedule too badly. Should I import these? Yeah, I'll wait until I make the rest of them. We had 2 today, and then 2 Fabian and a Tiny for next round. Sunday, depending. Actually, probably Sunday. Alright. And then in the meantime, I don't know. In the meantime, I'll think of items and stuff. Now that I have basic lore, I think now I can wrap my head around what I want. Alright. Nice. Damn. I drew the 2 big boys. This boy and this boy. Alright. That's good. Peace out.